This is Aaron Levin.
This is Shamal Anadkat.
And this is Sneha Patri.
And this is our ECE 353 Spring 2017 semester final project. For our final project, we developed Dance Dance Revolution on the Cortex M4 architecture provided by ARM and the TiVo Launchpad. The first thing you'll notice is that we're missing the top of our joystick, but nonetheless it still works. We used interrupts on our joystick. We triggered interrupts on our joystick to begin the analog to digital conversion process, and so that allows us to receive data from the joystick to tell if we're moving up or down so we can navigate through the screen. We also set up interrupts on the second switch number 2, and this lets us navigate the menus. You'll also notice that on certain menus we enabled the touchscreen functionality, and so it lets us go back if we touch the screen on the back button. Another thing is that on this menu, small feature, we made it so this arrow that navigates is randomly colored whenever we move through our options. Now Shamal's going to talk about what happens when we play the game.
So once you start selecting, I have a little Java program here that basically gets the input from the COM screen, and it's printed out here as you can see, and then once you start play, it starts playing music in the background. So Aaron, you want to show how you play?
And I'll talk about the game while you play.
Alright, so let's go.
So you'll notice that Shamal was able to use UART and able to trigger in order to trigger the music from his computer. Additionally, we're using the I2C or I2C in order to adjust the LEDs based on when we get arrows correctly hit or when we miss arrows. So if you miss a lot of arrows in a row, or we'll show you later, but here's the end game screen or the pause screen.
And you can continue from the pause screen back. And then I'm just gonna go through the end, play this. As you can see, if you miss few, the LED goes down by a 1, and then finally if you hit the bottom of it, the game ends, or even ends when you reach the max number of arrows for that particular level. So here, and the music stops. So there it shows it wins, and then
it says that we got a new high score and it's 220. So if we reset the microprocessor and navigate over to the high scores menu, we'll notice that the EEPROM actually saved our high score was 220,
as well as the game mode as the high score was made in. So
so the high score and the mode that was achieved in was medium, and so this data is saved on EEPROM. So when we reset, it's obviously still there. But we can also reset these with the reset button we built in. And now these stats are reset, and so if we reset the board, they will stay like how we set them with the reset button.
So we can even show the challenge mode playing?
Yeah, we actually made another mode. So we made different difficulties, and so challenge mode features some trails on each arrow, and those are supposed to make the game a little disorienting and harder to play. There's also a lot more arrows moving much faster.
You can show that I'm not, touching the computer.
Yeah, and the music will start again as soon as we do this. Oh, oops. Much harder. And all of the arrows are coming onto the screen randomly at different intervals based on which mode you're in.
And we had to debalance all these 4 buttons to get this to work, correctly.
So let's see what happens if we miss all the arrows, or miss enough for the LED to go down. See, it says we got a new high score, and it's easy to get high score. Well, it's easy because we reset the high scores right before this, but now it's also easier when you're in hard mode because the challenging mode, there are more arrows, and each arrow is still 10 points across each mode. So here you'll see that our new high score was achieved in challenge mode, and it was 340, which is kind of hard to see because of our font we're using and the phone screen.
Yeah, but it's more easier to see on the screen.
So you'll see again the touch screen is still very functional. Another thing that you'll notice is when we're playing, or something worth mentioning at least, is the way that we're going about using these the arrows. Another thing is it pops up and says miss or hit when we do that, or when we hit and miss arrows. So, or it says boo if you hit the wrong arrow altogether. Yeah, and so we just lost the game. Another thing, what? Okay, and the last thing we'll say is that we used cues for the arrows to work, so whenever we would press a button, it would process the first arrow in the queue and see how far away it is from the top. And if it was too far away, it would say you boo, you missed. And if it was on it, it would process it as a hit. And thank you for watching our video for our DDR semester project.